So in the last video, I was repairing this very unique computer I got from somebody called Dapz, D-A-P-Z, on YouTube. Quick history of the computer. Basically, it was built by somebody called David Does Tech Stuff and shipped from British Columbia, Canada to Los Angeles, California. And then Dapz made a video where he put a jet engine inside of the computer to cool it, and then it slightly melted multiple things. So I've been trying to make it work better. In the last video, I repaired it with a steak knife, and I have discovered that the computer turns on, meaning the CPU gets hot when I try turning it on, but I didn't have RAM for it, for one, and I don't have a cooler for it. So today I have been messing around, and I took a cooler off a GT710. And the problem with that is the cooler is far too big. Okay, it goes on the capacitors and it just won't work. It covers a button battery and everything. It does not work at all. So I've been messing around and I have a junk Quadro K600 from NVIDIA. This is what the heatsink from it looks like. I don't have high hopes that it will do exactly what I need, but it is a more correct size and it does actually make contact with the CPU, which is a bit more promising. No, I don't have a cooler for it, but at least it will help me decide if this thing actually posts, which I certainly hope it does, but there is no guarantee because, well, if you look at it closely, that's melted for one. For two, some of that stuff there is kind of melted. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't even know what that is. The RAM looks kind of, yeah. And that looks kind of, yeah, basically it's had a rough week at some point in time. But I'm going to do my best to ignore that for now and see if it at least turns on. The worst damage I have seen to this is a singular, I think that's a capacitor. I don't know what that is exactly right there. It's not focusing. Yeah, there we go. What is that? I don't know. It doesn't look good. Now let's apply barely enough thermal paste to the CPU to see if it works. That is way too much, and why is it watery? Perfect. I don't believe it's supposed to be watery like that, actually. Let me take that back off and put on some new thermal paste again. Thermal paste reapplication part 2. That looks better. That is way too much. By the way, the RAM does work. I pulled it out of my main computer, so that's fine. Either way, let's just set this onto here and make sure it's definitely making contact with the motherboard in several spots so I can ensure I short it out. Let's just ignore that. That's fine. So now all I have to do is plug in the 24-pin power connector, plug in the 4-pin CPU connector, and plug in some sort of, well, some sort of way of seeing out of this, maybe through that port right there, except it's melted. I have no idea what to do about that. But I need some way to see if the motherboard is at least doing something. So I'll be back in a moment once I figure out what to do. Okay, so here is a update. I got the power supply plugged into the wall. I got this connected, the RAM is currently connected. I got VGA to plug in, although I don't know if that actually works. When I plugged it in, at least the monitor turned on for a moment. I'm not sure if that's a good sign or a bad sign or a medium sign, but it's a sign of something. Either way, let's power on the power supply. I said power on the power supply. There we go. And now let's start trying to figure out how to turn this thing on. Just by playing around down here some until it turns on. Is it plugged in? No, it is not plugged in. Okay, now the power supply is plugged in, so let's try that one more time. Oh, turned on immediately. Let's watch this closely. Make sure we got heat going to that. And there's nothing on the screen right now. To be fair, that's kind of what I expect from the condition this is in. It's rapidly getting hot. So there is power going to the CPU, but there is nothing going onto the screen. There we go, we got a fan. Oh, that's fine. Okay, I don't have the same microphone now, so it might sound a little bit different, but I have slept on this and have one last idea. What if I try to install a graphics card into this? Which probably won't work. I mean, it's all melted, but if a graphics card can be installed, maybe it will work even with that bad capacitor. No, there's no chance, but I will try anyway, because why not? We are going to be using the AMD Radeon HD 5450. It is a legendarily fast card. Nope, it's like the slowest piece of junk you can possibly find with Windows 10 drivers. Well, not really. It's really, really slow though. Either way, is it installed? I would say it definitely is. Alright, well let's hook up VGA and see if this thing works. So what are your predictions? Will it work or will it do absolutely nothing? My guess is nothing. Turn on. Turn on, please. Is that power supply turned on? Oh, no it is not. Alright, take two. Turn on. Oh, there we go. First try as well. Alrighty. We are good to go. Let's do some gaming. I said let's do some gaming. Come on, monitor. I said let's do some gaming. Let's do some gaming. Hello? Anybody home? Hello? Nope, it is not doing anything at all. I guess one other thing I can try real quick is swapping the RAM out for the other slot right here, which will essentially do absolutely nothing. But that's okay. It needs a capacitor. That's really all it needs, I think. Okay, so with how the motherboard is melted, I cannot get the RAM to go into this slot right here, which is it just doesn't fit in. So it only goes into this slot, but barely. So yeah, even this slot, it's hard to get it to go in, but it does go in with a little bit of effort. But that means we only have one working RAM slot. So my conclusion is this capacitor is why it's not working. So I need to order myself a 5Ka16 capacitor at 6.3 volts or something. I don't know what that exactly means, but that's okay. But for now, I'm going to say thanks for watching this part 2 of this Can We Get This Computer Running series. Well, part 2's conclusion? No. Not even close. No improvement over the last video. So, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. If you're new, subscribe. Either way, thank you for watching, and have a great day.